Okay, so we're gonna go a little bit blonder. We're gonna chop to the middle. You wanna do the middle or the ends? What do you think?
We can start slow.
A little bit longer.
Start there, and then I'll have you take it up as I think is needed. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm going to chop first because that way we don't waste product.
Yeah.
So
My feet are like iridescent.
oh, I know. Same. And I was just working on my toes last night, and I was like, man, I need some.
That's awful.
You can put your hands in under your cape so you don't get hair all over you. Okay, look straight up.
It's happening.
It's fine. Straight ahead.
Already so different.
So good.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, right there you go.
I trust you and your judgment.
We're start there. Now we're gonna get. Okay, look at that.
Yes. Yeah. She's cute.
She is cute. Okay, their opinion, you know what I'm saying? You'll ask, but you're like,
Yes.
you want to hear what you want to hear, and if that person doesn't tell you, I don't really care.
Yes. Yes.
Fairly long.
Yeah.
That you can really.
It's definitely drastic.
Yes, but like look at like visualize right now. Do you see?
Yes.
Like.
I love it.
Yeah, you're gonna have so much more body in a style like this. I mean, similar to what that girl, the blonde that you just showed, like look how much body. And that's just a blunt cut. We haven't even added or fine-tuned that.
This could be all you do to me today, and I love it.
Okay, so my client, we've been doing kind of like a copper base, like a copper brown base on, and then some copper ends. She is feeling like she needs a total refresh. She still wants to stay in the natural warm family, maybe even just a little bit on the edge of natural and just a little bit of vibrancy. So I'm actually going to play with some clear lifter here, okay? So I am going to use her base color as normal, but because her base color has grown down to here, she's feeling like it's a little bit, it's starting to overtake the look. So we're gonna kind of like dimensionalize this area by pulling some pieces through it to break it up. But I am going to use some clear lifter as well. Now through artificial color, clear lifter will only get you one full level of lift, but through natural hair it can get you almost 4 levels of lift. So I am going to be using bleach as well as bleach bottle blonde, as well as clear lifter, so I can get some dimension. I want like 3 or 4 different colors of dimension throughout those ends so that she feels fresh and new, and then I'm probably likely going to glaze everything at the bowl. So yeah, I'll share my formulas. Now, traditionally for this base color, we use a 743, a 7-3, and a little bit of a 744. Now, you might be saying, Audrey, why? Why would you use all those colors? Well, the 743 has a primary tone of copper, but it doesn't overtake the look, right? We want it to be a little bit soft and subtle. The 7-3 gives me a good base for that to hold on to, and then I want just a little bit more vibrancy from the copper, so I'm gonna add this intense copper to the formula, like literally a half. We'll say if this was 1/5 of the formula, maybe. Just a little bit, just to kind of intensify the color, but not overtake it, because in the HueVerse family, the coppers are like insanely copper. They need to be browned down, so I didn't actually have 743, so it's really important for you to utilize a color that someone else in your salon utilizes so that you can steal it out of their cabinet. So we're gonna start with 743 and 7-3. Predominantly the formula. They're going to be equal parts. I'm going to use 35, say 30 grams, so 15 each. And then I'm going to do like 10 grams of 744. Yeah, I had to think about it. Give me a sec. So like I said, 744, 73, 743. Equal parts 743 and 73. Again, copper, gold, and a little bit more gold. You could also do a 7.4 and a 7.3 if you didn't have a 7.43. But in the HueVerse family, I'm using equal parts 7.43 and 7.3. And then I'm going to use like literally a sliver, because again, in the HueVerse line, the coppers are really copper. If you want copper, use the copper, you know. But if you don't want full intense results, you know, use it as just a very small portion of your formula. Now we're doing really, there's no gray, so there's really no need for us to swell the cuticle lifted really good and then deposit pigment. We need a deposit only. There's no reason to lift. So we're going to use HueVerse's 6.5, which is just basically deposit only. It is 1 to 1.5. All right, Formula 1 is good. Hot tip, whenever I am mixing like multiple formulas at a time, just to keep my formulas right, yeah, you can write on the bowl whatever you want to do. I don't usually have time to do that. I'll end up forgetting that it's there anyway, so I will just always mix my first formula, or the formula that I'm going to be using on the base first, and then I don't mix the other ones. So first formula is down, base color down. We know we're using that first because it's mixed. Second formula is going to be Clear Lifter. Let's think of Clear Lifter like Bottle Blonde's sweeter cousin. You know, she's timid and she doesn't come out swinging. All right, she's much softer. And when you're looking for just a little bit of dimension in the hair, you really don't need to use lightener. If you're just wanting to shift the base, shift the tone, you know, add some vibrancy to a color or something like that, you can utilize your Clear Lifter. But I really am not going crazy with the color. I just want a little bit of a shift with this. So I am going to use Clear Lifter and 30 volume. You could use 40. I know that's terrifying, but with HueVerse, we're not concerned. Clear Lifter. Now, you might be saying, Audrey, how are you going to remember if there's 3 formulas and the first one's mixed? How do you know the second and third? Well, I will slightly or partially mix the second so that it looks like, yeah, somewhat together, but still chunky. That's my second formula. Now, my third formula is going to be bleach, so we don't really need to know the difference between that. However, we're using Bottle Blonde, and Bottle Blonde's consistency is beautiful. Bottle Blonde, we're going in powder is 1 to 2, so I usually do 30 grams for a total of 75 grams in my formula, 20 volume developer. I am not going to mix my lightener yet. I'm just gonna have it all together. Hey! Okay, so
Did you have a good trip then?
I did. I really did. It was a week of, I mean, just pure chaos. It's good though. It's this kind of raw lift here. I actually didn't do any kind of glazing or anything on it just because we were staying in the warm family, so I didn't feel like it warranted it. But as you can see, even while it's wet, it's really dimensional. So let's get this blow dried. Going in with our, and I want you to be able to see all that dimension.
Use it for the highlights?
So I did every other. So I did clear lifter with 30 for just a shift, and then 20 volume and bleach. So I just did every other. So I would have like some brighter pieces and some that are more common.
Pretty?
No, it's like has a good dimension to it.
Right.
Are you ready?
Oh my god.
Isn't it?
Oh my god.
Take a look in the camera. Okay, so now I have to soften it just a little bit.
Okay.
Because it is a little still blunt on the ends and I haven't texturized it just yet.
But it just
If you have Barbie hair, we know that it doesn't want to. Oh,
love it.
the dimension. Focus more in the front, obviously.
So
A
good.
little bit brighter in here, and then we kind of fade off a little bit more in the back. And you can see, like with the clear lifter, it doesn't get nearly as bright as the blonde does here in the front, but that's what gives it the dimension or the two-tone effect. Softer. Gonna blow me a little kiss.